The Ballad of Beta-2 by Samuel R. Delany, published in 1965, is a page-turning space opera filled with anthropology, mystery, horror, suspense, and thrilling first contact. Delany was only 23 years old when he wrote this. Are you kidding me? I can recommend The Ballad of Beta-2 as a very comfortable entry point and introduction to the work of Samuel R. Delany. I recommend The Ballad of Beta-2 if you're a fan of generation ships and how civilization may evolve or devolve in the ship community. Finally, if you like science fiction with a bit of mystery, some of which might just be unfathomable, I'll recommend this super fast read. If you've read or you're planning to read The Ballad of Beta-2, or if you're a fan of Delany, let me know in the comments. She walked through the gates and the voices cried. She walked through the market and the children died. Or did the children cry and the voices died? Language, semantics are important. Here's where we begin with Beta-2. Joneni Tuabaga is a galactic anthropology honor student, eager to finish his honors thesis, but just not the one that he's been assigned. His professor doesn't budge, and so he's off to study the Starfolk. The Starfolk are the authors of the poem from which those lines I just read to you came. They were passengers on generation ships that left the Earth in the year 2242. Here's the thing. Generations later, the ships arrive at their final destination, but most of them are mangled graveyards, their passengers having died mysteriously. These ships are splintered and wrecked. The two ships that did arrive intact, passengers and all, the society on the ships were so bound to their environment and culture that they had no interest in the planet that they arrived at. Here's the other thing. The planet that they end up orbiting is already inhabited. Soon after these starfolk left Earth, faster than light travel was discovered, and while these jabronis were slow going it across the vastness of space, multitudes of ships and humans leapfrogged them and settled the planet and others long ago. Hey, let them have the planet. We're just fine here in our city. Or did I say city? I mean ship. No, I mean city. Let me explain. This takes us back to our song, the poem. This ballad is littered with symbolism and metaphor and speaks to the culture and society evolved on the ships, the journey, and major events along the way. During his research and investigation, Joneni will discover that words used by the starfolk and lyrics in the song like city, desert, sand were not referring literally to city, desert, sand, etc. Because this is a spoiler-free review, the only clarification that you're going to get from me is that city is what they called the ship. Joneni originally wanted nothing to do with this project because the word on these ships was that the people are degenerates, basically the dregs of the universe, a basket of deplorables, if you will. Also, the song doesn't really make sense. It's not really catchy. But here we go back to semantics and language, not to mention other things that make us human, like love. Fans of Delany know this is well-traveled territory for the author. You never leave a Delany novel without a few things to think about. The value of the reading experience is in following Joneni's experience on the ship and his attempts to discover what's happened and what the song's about and really how the two things are connected. Joneni will meet a surreal character who will guide him along the way. This character is a sort of a culmination or amalgam of all that's happened on the ship, as well as a glimpse into the future prospects for humanity in the greater universe. I'm purposely leaving out the mystical elements and deeper discussion of potential first contact, as well as specifics surrounding the strict rules, judgments, and frightening elements of the society that evolved on the starships. This is best left to discover in the very quick read. Most curious in the society is how those who are deemed to have deviated from the norm are judged, and how that judgment is used flagrantly as a weapon by those who hold the power. I was really impressed with how well-rounded this was for a novella. The pace was perfect, and the story was fulfilling. There is suspense and mystery with a final resolution. The main character is compelling enough. Nothing is superficial. The spaceships and the world building are given the right amount of attention. If you want space and spaceships, you're getting space and spaceships, and the philosophical and societal examination moments extend greater than the number of pages presented. It's so much more than I think that I should get from just a novella, and I love that. Because it's a short read, I'll present my 3 instead of my typical 5 likes and dislikes for Samuel R. Delany's The Ballad of Beta-2. Like number 1, Delany really delivers on the linguistic examination. I really like what felt like an almost step-by-step tutorial through the ballad and discovering what the lyrics meant and the roots. Like number 2, it's very clean and clear how he introduces the concept of love to the alien entity. In its simplicity is depth. I also love the idea that the entity only needed to be told to stop in order to stop killing. It just didn't know. Like number 3, novellas often feel like novellas, and this one felt like a novel. I really got the right amount of time with the character, time spent in space and spaceships, a lot of detail and depth to the alien boy despite only a few pages. Even the very brief mention of eugenics packed a major punch. The length of the novel did not diminish Delany's ability to deliver a truly full story. Dislike number 1, the only place the brevity of the story is felt is in hindsight looking at the beginning. 10 more pages about Janani's school, the professor. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but let's call this not a dislike, but a here's what I could have done with a little bit more of. Dislike number 2, in the same category of what I'd like more of, the alien boy had a bunch of clones or copies, what have you. That's very interesting. Let's get a little bit more of that, please. Dislike number 3, it's interesting to look at this after having read nearly all of Delany's other science fiction work. As much as I love Beta-2, if he rewrote this in, say, the 1980s, he would have made it even better. I don't know how he'd do that, I just know it, and clearly this doesn't really belong as a dislike, as I mean it as a compliment. Rules schmools. Bonus like, the judge considering what constitutes a serious offense or deviation from the norm is villainy gold, and frankly, calling the system of justice or the standard that they're judging the norm, it just works, it's perfect. It's a mad world, but it doesn't have to be. If you want more Delany reviews in your life, check out one of these video reviews as well. Thank you for watching. I'm Michael Leverts, and this is Fit to be Read.
All around me are the one-eyed faces, burned out places, blown out spaces, green and glowing from alien races, going nowhere, going nowhere. I find these lyrics haunting, I found them kind of plain. When people judge each other, it's a very, very sad world.